dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, it's 5 o'clock. I'm Will Puckett.
And I'm Cassidy Strickland. Thank you so much for waking up with us on this Monday.
Monday has reared its ugly little head again.
Once again.
And it came real fast. But you know what came and went was the snow that you all saw this week. And I went home and my parents got about 3 to 4 inches. But
we saw snow for like maybe, well, me personally, I only saw it for about 15 minutes here in Hazard. But
that's because you fell asleep.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll bring Brandon in the fold. In Evansville, at least, they saw about 3 inches, and within 12 hours, it was gone.
Yeah, and we didn't even see that here. I think some of the counties to the north, up close to the Mountain Parkway and I-64 corridor, we got an inch or two. Most of us didn't get much of anything across the region. A lot of folks were disappointed, but that's the way it happens sometimes. Let's get into this morning, though. We start with the camera network on the Hazard Cam. Foggy out there this morning, and that's going to be one of the big stories of the morning, so make sure that you're paying attention and keeping an eye on that. Over on Whitesburg, a little bit of a drop there on the camera lens, but you can see a wet morning across the area. Most of that is flurries or maybe just a little bit of drizzle this morning, depending on what the temperature is in your area. Some slick spots are possible. Be careful of that. Otherwise, visibility pretty rough across parts of the mountains. Less than a mile there, Jackson and Hazard. 2 miles in Pikeville, 1.5 miles there, Williamsburg, and 5 miles in Somerset and in Monticello. Remember, less than 5 miles. That's the threshold for low visibility. A few flakes of blues trying to show up still on live pinpoint Doppler radar as we head out the door this morning. So again, a few flakes still possible this morning. Temperatures right there just at or below freezing. Only a couple of spots down toward Middlesboro and Jacksboro above freezing. So a little extra on the coffee meter this morning because it's Monday and because it's a little chilly out there. So be aware of that. Get your jacket on and bundle up. Out the door forecast, not a lot of improvement today thanks to cloudy skies. Maybe some drizzle a little bit later on as we transition over, and then temperatures only top out right around 35. The clouds aren't going anywhere until late this evening. I'll talk more about that and the forecast for the rest of the week coming up in a few minutes, guys.
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. Well, this weekend, rescue crews had to make a difficult rescue in the cold, wet weather. On Saturday afternoon, Powell and Wolfe County Search and Rescue teamed up to rescue a hiker on Martins Fork Trail. They say the hiker hurt his knee and could not make it out on his own. If you plan on hiking anytime soon, officials say you should stay at least a body length away from any edges. And before you go hiking, you should pack essentials like a blanket, snacks, and water just in case anything happens.
A lot of people said, well, I didn't expect this to happen. No one expects it to happen, but it does. So just be ready.
This month marks 6 years since the Powell County Search and Rescue Team started saving hikers.
Well, new this morning in Logan County, West Virginia, deputies say they found a body. The discovery was made in the Big Creek area early yesterday morning. Officials say that they have identified the body, but they cannot release a name at this time.
Also in West Virginia, 4 children are dead after a fire. It happened late Saturday night in the city of Clay. Officials say the children were 8, 4, 3, and 6 months old. They were living in foster care. The parents, a toddler and a teenager, were able to make it out safely. Through tragedy, officials tell Chad Hedrick they hope other lives can be saved by inspiring families to talk about fire safety.
The charred remains of this home tell the story of a tragedy in Clay County. 4 children killed when their home went up in flames late Saturday.
This fire was very fast moving. And once it got going, it really took off.
The loss serving as a brutal reminder that it can happen to anyone at any time, which is why officials hope it inspires parents to talk to their children about fire safety.
According to the adults, they did practice fire drills routinely. They did have an escape plan.
A plan it appears at least one child was trying to follow, but the smoke and flames were too much. Crews spent close to 16 hours working to recover the bodies of 4 young lives taken too soon. It's the most difficult part of their job, and they want to help others avoid the grief this family is now feeling.
Work on escape plans, fire drills monthly at the least. is the best thing to do.
The parents made it out safely, along with a 2-year-old and teenager. They were treated for minor injuries and are said to be okay physically, while the emotional toll of losing 4 little ones with their lives ahead of them sinks in.
The ones that got out were lucky they got out when they did.
Chad Hedrick, WSAZ News Channel 3, Clay County.
The fire marshal says while the cause of the fire is undetermined, there are no indications that this was criminal. There were working smoke detectors inside.
In other news on this Monday morning, an escaped inmate is back in custody in Rowan County. Kentucky State Police say John Parrott was arrested yesterday morning in West Liberty. He had escaped work release in Morgan County earlier this weekend. Parrott is currently in the Rowan County Detention Center. He faces several charges.
Well, in other news this morning, a Delta flight made headlines yesterday after a plane slid off the taxiway at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. The flight had just arrived from Las Vegas. According to airport officials, the plane, quote, left the pavement of the taxiway on its way to the terminal. No injuries were reported. All 126 passengers and crew members on board made it to the terminal safely. Meanwhile, divers have found the cockpit voice recorder from the Lion Air flight, which crashed off Indonesia back in October.
Divers had already found the flight data recorder on November 1st. It showed the pilots had fought to override a safety system, which kept pulling the plane's nose down. But the CVR is needed to reveal what pilots were actually saying and why the safety feature was not turned off. All 189 people on that flight were killed.
A mudslide closed Kentucky 1428 in Floyd County for a few hours yesterday. Officials say their trucks were filled with salt, so before they could begin work, they had to dump that out. However, once they began cleaning the slide up, crews worked quickly. The road is now back open. Highway Superintendent Randy Hall says it could have taken much longer to clean.
We really like to get the road open and stuff, so they come out here, operate their equipment in a safe manner, got the job done proficiently, got it done so the public can travel through.
This is the exact same location of the mudslide on January 5th.
And road crews in Pike County dealt with a similar issue. A mudslide there blocked all lanes of traffic on Town Mountain Road in Pikeville. Once it was cleared, crews were called to the same location. Once again, the side of the mountain had slipped into the road. The crews worked to clear the road once more, and it is now open.
Well, back to Floyd County this morning. That's where a man often bikes more than 2 hours just to watch a group of men work near the road.
They say recently, though, someone stole his bike, which prompted the workers to chip in and buy their friend a new set of wheels.
WYMT's Marianne Fletcher talked to the men who captured the heartwarming moment on camera.
Many say treat others the way you want to be treated.
Right from the get-go, we knew that the kid was something special to us.
And they did just that. Jonathan Sawyers and his co-worker Dan Weidman work for a tree cutting company.
He would show up every day wanting wood chips, a load of firewood.
Jonathan is talking about this man, Cody.
Man, this kid rode a bike 2.5 hours here and riding it 2.5 hours back, rain, sleet, or snow. I mean, that's commitment.
Not your average commute, right? One day, his bike went missing.
Actually, he showed up walking or whatnot, and we asked him, "Where's your bike, buddy?"
Jonathan says Cody told them someone stole his bike.
Teared up. I don't even know. I was kind of speechless about it myself.
The tree cutting co-workers decided to buy him a new set of wheels.
During the time he didn't have a bicycle, he was coming. It didn't matter if he had to walk, bum, or ride. He was just 100% dedicated.
Dan took this video as they surprised Cody.
Oh my God.
As his face lit up, his new friends watched in awe as he jumped on and pedaled away.
He's riding away there, and he come back or whatnot. He was like, "Man, that thing fly. It'll take me anywhere I want to go now." By him saying that right there, that really touched us.
Proving a little bit of kindness goes a long way.
Sometimes it's the little things that can make people so happy. And I just want us, everybody to know the peace and the joy that it brought this kid.
Because you never know who you will meet next.
Oh my God.
In Pike County, Marianne Fletcher, WYMT Mountain News.
I think everybody needs a little bit of good news to kick off their Monday morning. Now, the men who helped chip in to buy the bike say all the glory goes to God, and they just did what the Bible tells them to do.
Definitely an awesome story. Well, a heads up for drivers in Leslie County. Transportation officials say a portion of Kentucky 2058 will be closed starting tomorrow. The road work will take place between Spruce Pine Creek Road and Lonesome Mountain Lane. The work is expected to wrap up on Wednesday. The road maintenance will begin at 8 in the morning and end at 5:30 each evening.
Well, coming up on Mountain News this morning, Maroon 5 is officially playing during halftime of the Super Bowl. But who else is going to join them?
Plus, we will take a look at what else is happening in Hollywood on this Monday in your Eye on Entertainment report.
Some fog, as you can see behind me on the US 119 camera, and a few snowflakes could greet you on your way out the door this morning. I'll get you ready for the rest of your day in about 2 minutes.